Hi, this is Pat Moorhead with More Insights and Strategy, and we are here for another More Insights and Strategy podcast. I'm here with Hyther Nizam, President Zoho, Middle East, Africa, and VP of Product Development. Hyther, how are you doing today? You are broadcasting from Chennai, India. My gosh.
Excellent. I'm doing fine, Patrick. Thanks for having me here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we're cutting into your dinner time, and I'm on my second cup of coffee here, trying to wake up here in Austin, Texas. But it is, you do have a U.S. office near Austin that I'm
Yes,
hoping to
yes.
visit. I think in July, so I'm super looking forward to that. And as soon as travel gets back to normal, maybe I can visit all of you in Chennai. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, bring all your farming equipments. You can do farming out there.
Oh, that's so fun. So we are talking today about transnational localism. So first of all, it's funny as an analyst, Hyther, I'm expected to know pretty much everything, which is impossible because no human can understand anything. But it's the first time I had heard that term. I knew that Zoho did some really interesting, very unique things. My company covers over 200 technology companies, but you do very unique things, really globally. Can you tell me and tell the audience what is transnational localism?
Sure. So the idea behind the transnational localism is to really serve the geographical locations which is not being served by traditional software vendors out there in the market. So what we call it as think global, act local. You have a local team, local office, local employees serving the local customers. So, and we also call it as being rooted and connected. You're rooted into the local community, but you are really connected to the global expectations, right? So, and it is working out really well for us. Being a private health company, we have the luxury of experimenting this kind of transnational localism strategy, and it is working out really well for us. And in fact, we have our own values and culture, and which we have established in our US and India office. So, for example, we don't measure our success by numbers rather than the impact on the society and community and customers. Value or valuations. Basically privacy or profits. All this culture, we want to take it to all the geographical locations, and that's exactly what we are doing. And I can give an example of a recently joined employee. He joined in our Cape Town office. So he was doing farming. He was thrilled by our culture and the way we are operating. He wanted to join our local office and join hands with us. And that's the exact reason, I'm being a tech guy and a product guy, right? And 24 years in Zoho, I've been given additional responsibility of taking this Zoho's culture and values and spread it across all the geography location. And that's a transnational localism. It's not mere setting up office in multiple countries, but taking the real core value of the company and culture and spread it across all the geography and cover it globally.
Yeah, one really interesting thing that you're doing in the US and I've seen in other countries has been you don't just plant the flag in the biggest city in the country, right? So for
Right.
instance, you have an office that isn't technically in Austin, it's near Austin, but it's
Yes.
more in the country. And I think that's really cool because you're providing opportunities to areas that might not but have been able to have that now. And by the way, this is before it was cool to remote work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This was well before that. You have real
Yeah.
offices in cities that aren't necessarily in the major metropolitan areas, and I think that's great. I think that's great for society because
Right.
if looking at the digital divide and even the economic divide, if people aren't ever given the opportunity, they're never going to get that. So I think this is wonderful. I'm curious. So, from a growth standpoint in Middle East Africa, how has this transnational localist thinking guided your growth in your area?
Phenomenal growth. We are seeing a phenomenal growth in our Middle East and Africa region. To be very honest, right, before this transnational localism strategy, the Middle East and Africa region was doing very average, below average, compared to our global standards. We are more exposed to the US market. We were exposed closer to 50-55% to US market. It is now down to 40%, and thanks to the transnational localism strategy.
Yeah.
And Middle East and Africa region, we are seeing a tremendous growth. In 4 years, we have 5x growth. We have revenue has jumped 5 times in last 4 years since when I took over in 2018, right? And last year we completed more than 50% growth, CAGR of 50% in last 4 years. And countries like UAE, as far as global GDP rankings, it is in 29th position. But in Zoho, right after the transnational localism execution, in our Zoho's ranking, it is in 8th position. Similarly, South Africa, which is 32nd position global GDP ranking, in Zoho, it is 14th position. So wherever we have the localism strategy executed, we are seeing a tremendous growth, and 5x growth in 4 years. That says it.
Yeah. So what does this mean for the customers, communities, and partners? You talked about, I think you talked about the customers, but what about the partners and the communities? What does this mean for them?
Yeah, in fact, when we are starting this transnational localism strategy, where we want to set up local office, hire local people, our partners were taken back. They felt that we are going to eat their pie. But actually, what happened is reverse. You know, Before transnational localism, they were contributing 20% of the revenue was coming from partners in the Middle East and Africa region. And as I speak today, they are contributing 30% of the revenue, despite our growth of CAGR of 50%. So now partners understand that having the vendor in the local market, local employees, they can actually jointly, we can, present the solution to our customers. We can take down, we can jointly fill the RFPs. Now, we have closed a lot of tons of large customers because we are able to operate jointly, and now partners get that message. Now it's not a complaint. They want to expand it further. They want to add more employees in the local office. So it works out really well for us, and partners appreciate it.
So can you put a fine point on the differentiation for the viewers who might not understand? I mean, I have my audience is about 50-50 US and the rest of the world, primarily by virtue of the language that I speak, I think. But how is this different from traditional software companies' growth and expansion approach?
That's a great question. It's not like we are doing something new here. There's a global players. They have their presence in the different geography locations. But the traditional model is they looked all this from the lens of a sales organization. They've been building only a sales organization in these geographic locations, especially in Middle East or Africa region. But what we are doing, looking at is not mere sales organization, but we want to build a customer experience centric organization. Now we want to have all the departments, right from all the touch points of the customers, from sales to pre-sales to solution consulting to account management to support. We want to have all the department in place, not just sales organization. And coming to support, right? No, traditional organization, they look it as support as a outsourcing problem or call center problem. No one has a support locally in any of these regions, in Africa or any Middle East countries. But we want to have a support team built up in these countries. We are not looking them as a mere ticket closers, but we are looking them as a solution consultant for our customers. A customer, you pick up a phone and talk to a support person, and or have an email or a chat, and you can drop in our office, and you can continue that chat with the support rep inside the office with talking to the real person, right? And it has gone a long way in building the customer trust, especially on the support front, where we want to have the complete one-on-one discussions with our support rep out there in our office. Now we have this one-on-one kind of concept in our Zoho Leaks, which is our user conference, where a customer can book a one-on-one slot with the support. We want to provide that one-on-one experience throughout the year for our customers at our office. So that's the kind of a different approach we have taken when compared to the traditional model, where they look traditionally from the sales organization perspective, but we want to look at from the customer experience organization perspective.
Yeah, so it's more than, I spent many years in product management and product marketing myself, and and we didn't have transnational localism. We pretty much, did translation. We had people in, we had people in the region. We outsourced a lot of our support organizations to different countries, which
Exactly, exactly.
were kind of rocky, to be honest. To be honest with you, so. Any specific examples? So, for instance, again, my viewers are here in the U.S. Maybe you can use an example of a specific country and do the drill down on how this works.
Sure. Now I can take an example of our one of the customer. This happened. Real incident happened last year. In our Zoholix conference in Cairo, one of the Egyptian customer walked down to me directly and said that, "Hey, I'm going to buy your software today. Not that your software is good. Of course, it is good,
Right,
but the fact that no you have a support person locally, the fact that you have a local office, the fact that no you are really committed to this market, the fact that you as a president of the region came to the user conference and meeting us in person makes a huge difference for us, and I want to pay just for that, and I'm sure that I'm in the safe hand of a right vendor. That's a model. This incident happened last year. It was a testimony of our the transnational localism strategy, and it also helps us to in terms of closing some of the larger customers. Traditionally, when you outsource the support or account management, right, where Middle East is countries where they expect high touch point. We want customers to really meet them in person. Right.
right.
It's unlike in Western world where you don't want the customer don't want them to be disturbed, right? But in Middle East, it's very heavy, high touch customers where customers expect they pick up the phone and say, "Hey, tomorrow you're coming to my office at 11 o'clock." That's it, right? You have to be there at 11 o'clock, which means you need to have a local people to cater such customer needs, and that's exactly what we have done, and that's exactly what we have seen that as a successful result in this region, Patrick.
No, that's fun. And by the way, it's also not lost on me that when we say Middle East Africa, if you look at how many countries and how big the
Yeah,
landmass is there, and my guess is areas like Africa grow, you're going to need to get even more localized
of course.
for certain parts of Africa if that's not the case right now.
Yeah,
I'd like to shift this a little bit to a business conversation. You talked a little bit about how good your growth was, but I'd like to talk about maybe you can talk about your growth the last 3 years and maybe some success stories in certain specific countries for the audience. I think they'd be fascinated about that. And quite frankly, most people who are watching my show probably have never been to the Middle East or Africa.
sure. I would be happy to share that. I think we are seeing a phenomenal growth. In 2018, I took over as a, Middle East operation head, where we didn't have our office or even so not even a single employee in the whole Middle East and Africa
My
region.
gosh. Wait. How many years ago is this?
This was in 2018. Till then,
Okay.
we didn't have even a single employee in whole Middle East and Africa. We have
Okay.
75 plus countries in this region, right? Which means that after that, now we have office in, we have employees in 8 countries. We have office in 6 countries. We are adding another 2 countries this year. And coming to the numbers, last 4 years, as I said, um, we have 5x growth. Now our revenue has jumped 5 times, and CAGR, our compounded annual growth rate, is more than 50% last 4 years, right? And our last year we grew at 51%, the Middle East and Africa region, and we are doing exceptionally good as a region. We are the number 2 region next to India, the whole Zoho's growth, all right? India is way ahead than in any other region, so we are the number 2 in terms of, because thanks to the transnational localism strategy. And we have now employees in Nigeria, Kenya, Cairo, in Egypt, in South Africa, in Saudi Arabia, in UAE, and we are also in Qatar and Lebanon, right? 8 countries, and we want to expand that to 20 countries in next couple of years. So I think we are doing a phenomenal growth, and some of the things, the partnership we have done is outcome of this transnational localism strategy. We have done a partnership, strategic partnership with Dubai government. You've heard about that. Dubai government has gone completely paperless. They claim that they are the first government going completely paperless, and I'm glad to say that we have been part of that journey. We joined partnership with the government to make the businesses running in Dubai going paperless. And so whenever a new business being set up in Dubai, Dubai Economy, which is a government authority, they issue the trade license for people to set up the business in Dubai. And as part of the license, they also give Zoho one application. We give 1,800 US dollars credit worth 1 year license, and they push it to their customers. And we are the only vendor feature in the Dubai trade license. You look at
Oh
any
my
trade
gosh.
license, you have the Zoho QR code and promotion of Zoho by the government. This is the outcome of the transnational localism strategy. And we have done the similar partnership with Dubai Culture, which is a authority which promotes culture and tourism and arts, right? And they are promoting to their solopreneurs, entrepreneurs. We have done that in Saudi Arabia. We are the accounting certified accounting software Zoho Books in UAE and Saudi Arabia. So these are the strategic partnerships, growth, all outcome of this transnational localism, Patrick.
Oh, that's great. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. But what's next? I mean, what's next for Zoho growth and global expansion?
No, I think Zoho, we want to, now today we have a presence in 20 plus countries. Like how Zoho started with one or two products, now we have 50 plus products, right? We want to take that 20 countries to 100 countries. We have customers in 180 countries. And, down the line, we'll be having office in probably in 100 countries. And Middle East and Africa, today we have presence in 8 countries. We want to take it to 20 countries because we have 75 countries in Middle East and Africa region, and that's our global expansion plan without compromising our culture and our values. We are not a hire and fire company, right? We want to take people in a more sustainable way, right, who really stick to the company and grow along with us. So that's a kind of a global expansion strategy we are planning in the coming years, Patrick.
Yeah, it's funny. So I had a real job before I was an industry analyst for over 20 years. And I've talked to a lot of companies and a lot of executives at companies. I used to be an executive at a company, and everybody wants to say that, they're for the environment, they're for the communities. But what I've noticed is that Zoho actually is that. I, it was funny. I had read about it, and then I got with a lot of your management team at an offsite, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this is actually real. So there is something special about Zoho, and it's more than just talk. And watching your success from being what I consider one of the good guys is great to see. And the pressure on public companies to grow at all cost and maybe make some decisions that might be counter to some other attributes is immense. My tiny little company is small, and we're a very much a private company, and I can do things that are in the best interests of everybody. So it's
Exactly.
great to see. It's great to see, and Hyther, I hope that maybe in July you'll be on a plane to Austin. I don't know, but it'd be great to meet face to face. But I just want to thank you for talking about your approach to transnational localism.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks again for having me here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you back. So this is Pat Moorhead with More Insight and Strategy, and Hyther Nizam, President, Zoho Middle East Africa. Thanks for tuning in, and tell me what you like. Hit that subscribe button. Until again, have a great week. Take care.